Welcome to our first episode of Ripple Moments. I'm Muriel Baptiste, one of your hosts and the Executive Director of the Utopia Connect Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization working with youth and families and dedicated to serving and advancing women and girls. You can visit us at utopiaconnectfoundation.org for more information about the work we do. Our affiliate Light of Loving Kindness works closely with us to provide access to hope, health, and healing. They offer holistic, integrative solutions and mindfulness-based interventions. If you would like to connect or utilize their services, contact them at lightoflovingkindness.org. These conversations are free to the public, but if you can, we encourage you to support our work by donating. You can visit ripplemoments.org to make a donation to support or sponsor these conversations. We will air our conversations every second and every fourth Sunday of each month at 5 p.m. So please mark your calendars and plan on joining us. What is Ripple Moments, you ask? Okay, Ripple Moments are conversations to help us make sense of where we are today and how we respond. These community conversations make space to inspire us to learn from each other in a non-threatening medium of storytelling. The power of storytelling lends inspiration as we learn from others, hearing their challenges, their gratitude moments, and how they push through to find their light in the dark. This intentional pause to listen can be utilized as a coping mechanism to bring hope and healing to our community. It will show us that we're more connected than we think we are. One segment of these conversations that we want to highlight and is a signature feature is the My Ripple Moments. It's a segment that you won't want to miss. Now, I'd like to introduce you to two of our hosts who will guide these conversations. Join me in welcoming our board member and friend, Sterling Goodrich. Sterling moved to Chicago over 20 years ago and connected with the community through youth services, martial arts, and photography. This connection to the community, paired with his travels, spurred an interest in other people's life journey. Please help me welcome Sterling Goodrich.
Thank you, Muriel. And to you, our audience, we encourage you to listen, learn, and connect, as we hope these stories will help us build back stronger and allow us to move forward with purpose and compassion. I would like to introduce our other co-host, Claribel Rodriguez. Voted most likely to become Oprah Winfrey in high school, her moment has finally arrived to formally explore and share human insights from and throughout the world. Claribel's ability to learn and understand people and their environments has been pivotal in her success managing, teaching, officiating, mentoring, connecting, and leading others. Welcome, Claribel.
Thank you, Muriel and Sterling. So who are our guests? Our guests are people we think you should learn from. Those who struggled, those who made notable contributions to our communities, especially during this pandemic, or simply those who lead in various industries. During these conversations, we want to honor artists, students, and educators because we each have something to bring that can make our humanity better. And we are creating a platform to let that inspiration flourish in a time when we need it the most. Through these conversations, our goal is to elicit hope, healing, awareness, and a greater sense of purpose as we listen to real people in our communities making a difference.
Join me as we welcome our first Ripple Moments guest, Brenda Serrano. Brenda lives in Chicago with roots planted in Puerto Rico, where she tries to visit as often as she can. She also has a passion for travel and has visited more places than the average person ever could. She embodies the American spirit. She even flies it as a flight host with American Airlines. Brenda, welcome to Ripple Moments.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. I'm really humbled and honored. Thank you.
Yes. And Brenda, it seems right to start off these conversations with you because you represent everything this pandemic has been. From the airline industry taking a hard hit to the impact it has had on your personal and family life. There's so much that we can glean from you, so we're really happy to welcome you to the show.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Clarabelle, take it away.
Absolutely. We have been planning for this for weeks. We are so excited to have you here. And we know that you have some important things that you want to share with our viewers. And we definitely want to hear everything you have to say. But first, we are wondering if you happen to be up for yet another challenge.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm always up for a challenge. Let's do it.
Okay. This is called the COVID challenge. And I am going to ask you 12 questions. One question for every month that we have endured this pandemic up until today's date.
Okay.
All you have to do is say yes or no.
Gotcha.
All right, cool. Let's get started. Did you bake bread?
No.
Did you stack up on pasta?
Yes.
Did you work from home?
No.
Did you ever have a meeting in your PJs?
Absolutely.
Did you hoard toilet paper?
I do. Yes.
Did you socialize even once?
No.
Was your eating out of whack?
Yes.
Join the club. Did you support your favorite restaurant?
Yes.
Did you wear a mask?
Yes.
Did you travel on an airplane?
No.
Are you zoomed out?
Yes.
And last question, are you forever changed?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. A minute.
I think she passed the test.
Yes. I definitely think so. Thank you so much. We just wanted to have a little fun before we get started with some of these other questions. Brenda, we are we're going to be speaking to lots and lots of viewers who want to hear your story. They want to know, who is Brenda? Who is Brenda Serrano? So tell us a little bit about yourself, Brenda.
Well, I'm a mother of 3 fantastic, fabulous, wonderful children. Well, they're adults, but they're still my babies.
Of course.
Vanessa, who's the oldest, and she's going to be 30 sexy in a couple months and a couple weeks. Then I have Manuel Anthony, who's 33, married. He's the one that got married. It's going to be 2 years next week. And then my youngest, who's Carlos, and he's 28 going on 29. And he's the one that lives here at home with me. I'm a flight attendant with American Airlines for the last years, loving it. And I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and lived also in Puerto Rico and now Chicago. Worked I was a VP of a mortgage company, and passionate about my kids, my family, the community. Don't know what I ran for office in 1987, in which I'm so involved in the community and politics and all that good stuff.
What position did you run for?
Alderman. Alderman in the 26th ward at the time.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you.
I was only 26 years old when I ran, and I came in second out of 5 of us.
Wow.
It's pretty dope.
Well, yeah. And thank you for sharing all of those tidbits. We've got a lot more questions to go.
Oh, I'm ready for you.
Awesome.
All right. So I know a lot of people were impacted by the pandemic, especially their careers. Did your career get impacted by the pandemic?
Yes, we had over 8,000 flight attendants got furloughed. I wasn't part of the furlough, but I haven't worked since June. I was one of the first ones to get contaminated with the coronavirus, because it was in the beginning when we had just started the shutdown. It was the end of March. And of course, at that time, there were no mask wearing. There was no social distancing at the time. So I was contaminated. And then 2 months later, I found out I had recurrent breast cancer. And so I've been, doing that. I had a double mastectomy in November and going through treatment at the present time. So yeah, it's been challenging. We just recalled back the 8,000 flight attendants. They start now April 1st. So starting to look up a little bit,
All right.
That's great.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it sounds like your life is pretty full despite some of those challenges. I know we're going to dig in a little bit more a little later. You mentioned that flight attendants will come back. They will be coming back.
April 1st.
April 1st. Okay. Are you going back as well on April 1st?
No, I'm still in treatment. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I wonder, Brenda, how do you feel about the airline industry rebounding? Do you feel very confident about it? And before you answer that, I want to share with you that I actually made a very intentional decision to travel to Brazil during the pandemic. I mean, actually, right in the middle of the pandemic, September, October, I was there quite some time. And it was something that I always wanted to do, to travel to Brazil. And I know that Brazil is one of those places where it can be a tourist trap in certain areas. There's so many tourists and so many
Yes.
that you don't really get a genuine experience. And I knew that during the pandemic, I probably would get more of a genuine experience. And in addition to that, I wanted to obviously support the travel, industry. I felt very confident. I did everything that I had to before traveling there, masks and research and, purchasing insurance. And at the time there were no vaccines available or anything of that nature. But I made a very intentional decision. I was a rarity. People, when I got there, asked me, how did you get here? And I said, oh, I took an airplane. No. How did you get here? And I said, oh, do you mean because it's the pandemic? And they said, yes. And I explained to them everything that I had done. And they were really grateful that, I was traveling there, because most of the people that you will meet are drivers or people in restaurants or people who depend on
the tourism.
Right, industry. So, it was a fabulous trip, but I ask you, how do you feel? Do you feel that the airline industry will rebound to what it was before? Or do you think that this fear of the pandemic has made it too penetrable for people to, think beyond traveling, especially outside of the U.S.? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I'm really hopeful and really optimistic about it coming back. I'm starting, I still follow, I have a WhatsApp chat with my colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm still involved in what's going on and what are the changes that's been going on. And they're telling me that their flights are starting to fill up. It does help that the prices are pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
To entice people, and now with with the vaccine, they're starting to see more people feeling more confident, and I'm really hopeful that we're not going to be completely to the capacity we were 2 years ago, but I think we're going to be getting there. I think maybe by next year, I feel that that things are going to look up. And now, the president was on TV, I think it was yesterday, and he was talking about hopefully by May we should, have vaccine for every US, everybody in the States. So I'm really looking forward, and I just hope that people are not afraid to take the vaccine, and let's continue to wear the mask, until everything is, till the scientists say don't wear it. I mean, if we all follow the rules, I think we're gonna beat this. I really do, and I'm really hopeful, and I see everything coming back where we can see our family members or friends and travel again, and come back together, and not live in fear anymore.
Mm-hmm. I certainly join you with those sentiments. I mean, I joke around with a lot of my friends. They joke around back, and we just say we're not turning down social events ever after this pandemic is over.
I know, right? That's what we say. How we say, yeah, let's get together, and it doesn't happen.
Right.
Now, I said, once all of this is over, we're getting together. No more excuses.
I know.
More.
Yeah.
I agree.
Brenda, is there anything that you learned about yourself that was kind of surprising during the pandemic?
That I can slow down. I think this was a blessing in disguise, because if you ask anybody about me, as my children, I'm nonstop. I get up in the morning, I'm doing, and I'm nonstop. And now with this pandemic, it made me stop, breathe, and start putting things, in order, and focus on what's really important. Not just, going. And I'm starting to do for me. It's always been everybody else, putting myself in the back burner, didn't know how to say no, and was burning out. You don't realize that you burn out. And this has taught me to take a step back and say, no, I can't. It's nothing personal. I can't do it. And when you tell people that, it's okay. They're not going to get mad at you. Yeah. They're not going to, befriend you and block you or not become your friends anymore. It's okay. But, I'm a people pleaser. And I've learned that it's okay to say no. It's okay to start focusing on me, and really see what's important in life. So it's been a blessing, and it has changed me a lot. It really has.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's I can definitely relate. I feel like I've gained a much more appreciation for the simple things.
Yeah.
As a result of all of this, and had an opportunity, yes, to see what's really important. Shifting gears a little bit, how did you navigate or pivot during the pandemic to kind of keep moving forward for yourself?
Well, I've started to write more, read more, decided to take a little class online, and just trying to kind of empower myself, and learning and getting new mentors, and getting people that are positive around me and to edify me and me them. I think it's important that we surround ourselves with people that are going to give you hope, that are going to edify you, who are going to encourage you. So I started to having to delete certain people, because with this pandemic, the truth comes out.
Yes.
And with everything else that's going on around, stuff that I never, people that I never thought one way, and the way they reacted, I was like, no. I need to step away. Not that I don't care about them, or if they need me, I'll be there. But I need a new circle. I need a circle of positive, of hope, of encouraging, and respect.
That's
So,
yeah.
and with learning to all do all that, reading stuff that is gonna help me, develop into, more. How do I say it? To develop more knowledge, positive stuff that I can learn so that I can teach also. So pandemic's it hasn't been that bad.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda.
You're
So, Brenda, I hear you. You're very optimistic. You're very hopeful, and I appreciate you bringing that positivity to the show. But what was your darkest day? Did you have one? And if you did, would you mind sharing a bit about
Oh,
it?
I had several dark days. When I got the news that the cancer returned. That was the day after I got the good news that the coronavirus is gone. Maybe I had a negative. The next day, oh, but you're positive with breast cancer again. My son was walking in and he heard, because I had it on speaker. So as a mom, you're always trying to protect your family from anything negative. And it was like, oh, and my heart dropped to see his face. It was like, it was, and I cried when I was alone in my bed, and I just cried because I was like, now, I thought I beat this. And then to know that it was worse than, the first time it was, and then to have to go to the doctor after the biopsy and said, mastectomy. I mean, I was like, wow. And as a woman, it's not vanity, but it's part of, our sexuality. It's part of, and the night before was really hard. It was really hard. Losing family members to this, losing my colleagues, to this coronavirus, those were dark days. I was like, it was one after the other. It was like nonstop. I was like, done. Yeah, those were the darkest moments in my life during the cancer and losing family members to this virus.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You mentioned that you sought out mentors in your life. I wonder who were these mentors, because I feel like someone like you would be an excellent mentor. You're positive. You've been through so many challenges over and over and over again. And here you are in the green room. You're chuckling, you're laughing, you're, so gregarious. You're so full of joy and hope. Who are your mentors, and why did you seek them out?
When I was pregnant with Vanessa, so I was 25, I worked a bit at the Casa Central with, it was a group home for girls at the time. And my supervisor at that time was a woman named Myrna Torres. And to this day, we're still good friends.
Myrna Torres, does she happen to live in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah. Small
Degrees
world.
of separation. This is unbelievable. You know what? This is synchronicity. My two colleagues here and we know Myrna very well. We're very fond of her. And I will tell you that she's been a mentor to me as well. So, wow, this is incredible.
And even though through every time, she's constantly contacting me, even if it's a text message, a WhatsApp, a cell phone call, and she's going through her trials, and her mom has been really sick. She just had a stroke.
Yes.
And she still is always upbeat and always, You know,
Yes.
she's amazing. And this was since I was 25.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, she was my supervisor.
And Sterling, Muriel, what do you guys think of this?
Wow, I didn't know you guys.
That's how such a small world this is.
It
That's
is a
great.
small world.
That's,
It really is. I mean, they say Chicago is really, really small because
It's funny how everybody.
here we go. Wow.
Yeah.
When I met Muriel, we met on a plane and we started talking, and she knew Mary Santana. It was like, oh my God. And I mean, I was a passenger. She was a passenger. We didn't know each other. I was trying to get her seat. She didn't want to give it to me. She didn't want the massage seat I had.
Oh, goodness.
I always call them, I don't call them coincidence. I always call them divine meaning, divine intervention, divine, collisions. And nothing is just coincidental.
Yes.
There's always, maybe not right at the moment, but there's always a purpose. There's always a purpose.
I agree. I am just, I'm just kind of blown away that we share the mentor. We do share a mentor, and it's for positive people. So she probably, helped you get over this challenging time, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
Is this what gave you evidence of hope? I mean, during this time, good friends and.
That's the key, Mamita, is always having people that have your back and that you can take off. I always call it the infamous mask, where you can just remove it, not always be on, that you can be you, that you can be transparent, and that people that even when you don't say a word, know. The silence, they know, or even from miles away, you're connected. And there are times that I've been down and the call comes in or the text comes in. And it's the connection. It's that the ability to have somebody who's known you, who's mentored you, and still in touch. Because there's people that you feel that they're your mentor and they're there, but it's only for a season and then you lose them. But you still have those seeds in you that they've left. But there's mentors that are for life, that are in there for life.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much. You've definitely made my evening, and I can't wait to give her a call and let her know about this little coincidence.
Send her the link to this.
Definitely. She'll be so proud of us. She's very encouraging. This is wonderful what you're doing. I love it. My goodness. Who knows? Maybe we'll have her on here, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, you've been through so much, and you still have like a really good sense of humor. And, I appreciate that about you. What's some ways that you find joy, in these hard times?
My kids, you meet my kids, they are a comedy act on their own. They're hysterical. They come up with things that I'm like, where'd you come up with that? Especially the oldest and the youngest. They call themselves the twins, even though they're 7 years apart. They improvise. They're creative. I mean, one day Vanessa comes with this big suitcase, and I'm like, "What are you doing with the suitcase?" She pulls out her brother. They come up with things. They keep me laughing. They keep me, like you said, I'm always joking because humor is good medicine to your bones. That's what helps me. That's what saves me. That's what, I love watching a good comedy. I love watching my children act goofy. It's what keeps me motivated and happy and full of hope, laughter and joy.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. They sound like a hoot.
Oh my God. They're always on.
What are some ways that you think you can share for our listeners on how to stay grounded in these times?
I think you really need to surround yourself, as I said prior, with people that are going to encourage you, that people that are going to edify you, to give you that hope. Because we all go, we all get into that dark place. Everybody, no matter how positive you are, you get into that dark place. But to keep you grounded, you need that support, either family, friends, mentor. You need that support. Otherwise, no man is alone. No man should be alone. And no man is created alone. So we need each other. I mean, even if it's just a smiley face, I tell my children, I text them before they go to work or wherever they're going, be the reason somebody smiles. Be the reason someone smiles. Just you yourself, be that person to put another person's smile. It's harder now because of the mask, but with your eyes or just your gestures, just be positive and pass it on so that person can pass it on. And it keeps us grounded. It makes us forget for that moment whatever we're going through, because sometimes you feel nobody cares. You're alone. But if you just, even a total stranger, make them feel that they are special. Say hello, say thank you, say good morning, say good afternoon, or just say, gesture, just let them know that they are, acknowledge them. That's what keeps me grounded. I love it when somebody comes to me and just a total stranger and just waves or just say good morning. It makes you feel that somebody cares, that you exist.
Yeah.
That you exist.
Yeah.
I see you.
So, 2020 was an intense year for many of us.
God, yeah.
And we had some political turmoil. We had violence, I think, all around the United States. We had all sorts of injustices kind of aired out and intensified in the media. So a lot of learning, a lot of emotional turmoil. I wonder, without even sharing your political alliance, what do you think is the key to just living harmoniously, everyone? I mean, it was really intense. And I don't know what the future holds, if maybe scenarios of that type happen again. How do you think that people can get past that and live more harmoniously?
I keep telling people, because I've been blocked because of certain views and stuff, or I block them, or just because I don't like the negative. At the end of the day, we need to learn to agree to disagree with respect, because at the end of the day, Clarabelle, neither Biden nor Trump nor Obama nor Pritzker or the mayor, none of them are going to be at your bedside when you're sick. None of them are going to be holding your hand when your loved one is dying. No one is going to be at your house bringing you your groceries when you have nothing. The ones that are going to be around are your family and your close friends. I might not agree. There were things that I didn't agree with Obama. And hey, it's okay. We can agree to disagree. Well, I won't, oh.
We'll keep it as neutral as possible. We want everyone to.
Yeah, with the other administration, there was a lot of things I didn't agree. But I didn't disrespect anybody if they, agreed, because they have their opinion, I have mine. And we need to learn to respect. I think that's the key word, that to respect each other's opinion, even if it's different, and just keep it moving. You know, like I said, none of these politicians are going to be by our side. None of them were there when I was having my surgery. So let's keep it moving, you know, and respect your stand on whatever issue, you know. Don't make, I had to call somebody out because they made a comment, and it was almost like making fun of what pandemic. He took a picture of an activity,
8 o'clock.
not mask and anything, and I called it out. I called them out in private, but I called them out. I said that was very inconsiderate. You know, when people have lost family and friends to this virus, there is a pandemic. There is a pandemic. You don't want to believe it, but there is. And I think whatever your thoughts, you shouldn't put it on social media like that, because he was putting laughing faces, and it hurt me. It hurt me, and I called him out. You need to learn to have some compassion. You don't believe about that there is a virus? Keep it to yourself. You know, talk it among the people that agree with you, but don't put it out there on social media when people are suffering still the loss of loved ones. So.
I think that, you know, for whatever reason, sometimes people do it for just a reaction, you know. But yeah, it's definitely something obviously very serious to, I think, the majority of us. You may have noticed we chuckled a little earlier on. That's because my MacBook feels it important to let me know every time that it's, you know, on the hour, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So as we've been having meetings, they thought I had a timer set on my computer to just, you know, give everybody a not so subtle reminder. But that's why we were chuckling, just so you know, earlier. Thank you.
So Brenda, you've given us a lot to think about, and you've given us a glimpse of how you view the world with hope and optimism, and we really thank you for that. So as you give us that hope, we feel better about things getting better and eventually back to normal. Well, what is the first thing that you would like to do when we're back to normal?
Oh my God, I want to do a get together, and I'm a touchy-feely type of person. I'm always, even on the airplanes, I would touch, you know, go down the aisle and touch people on their shoulder. I can't wait to get together and hug and kiss and just feel the warmth of my loved ones, of my friends, of my family. You go to Puerto Rico, and Clarabelle, you're Puerto Rican. You know this is a fact. In Puerto Rico, it's so funny when I'm with my other colleagues that are not Puerto Ricans. We go into the airport, or we're coming out of the plane, and they're like, "Hey, brother!" Hey, everybody's hugging and kissing. They go, "Are they your family?" No, Puerto Ricans, we greet with hugs and kisses, and even strangers. You know, when you meet for the first time, they're like, "Oh, okay." You know, we don't do this. We do this. So
And
I'm
kisses.
missing that human contact, those kisses on my cheek. Once we started with the pandemic, right before I left, we were giving butt nuts instead of hugs. We would just stick our butts and we'd just bump each other with our butts. But now to be able to, I can't wait. I can't wait to give my friends and my family that hug. And oh, girl, that's the first thing. That's the first thing.
That's beautiful. Well, I have another question for you, because one of the things that we want to do with these Ripple Moments is to focus on gratitude. You know, it's really big for me personally, and my colleagues as well. So tell us, what are you most grateful for?
I'm grateful for family. I'm so grateful for family, and real friends. During this journey, oh my God, I was overwhelmed. Um, when I came out of the hospital, my mom came down and she was like, what is going on? Every single day, there were packages and cards and flowers. It looked like a funeral home. I was a florist. It was full of flowers. I mean, we didn't have space, and packages and just phone calls, and it was unbelievable. And I'm so grateful because sometimes you feel like nobody cares. I'm alone. You go into that pity party, and I was there. And then God just is amazing. He shows up and shows off, and he uses people to say, no, you're not alone. There's people out there, and I'm grateful for that. I really am. And I don't know how to even express how my appreciation and my love, because words are not enough. It isn't enough.
Beautiful. Wow. Well, now it's time for our ripple moment, my ripple moment. And I just my ripple moment is an opportunity for our guests to just share what's on their heart, how they feel, how they can inspire others. So I ask that you take a moment to breathe and just listen as Brenda shares her ripple moment with us.
As I sit here thinking broadly about community and the world issues, what keeps coming to me is the word fear. And this isn't just now, but it's been for the last several years. We as human beings already are in fear of the unknown, but then there are people who start to fan that flame and make it worse. Now add the pandemic and its chaos. We as family, community, and friends need to come together and bring hope, encouragement, and the sense that together we are better. I decided to turn this time of uncertainty and isolation as a time of evaluation, appreciation, and purpose. Seeing the beauty in everything around me, my environment, and the people that surround me. Really focusing on the positive and lessons learned. Understanding being silent and truly listening to one's soul. As I've always stated, we all have a story. Just listen deep within and quietly. As we live through this pandemic, we need to really take the time to evaluate our lives and those around us. Understanding how precious life is, and to be grateful for each moment and appreciate all who surround us. We really need to ask ourselves, who am I? And what do I like to do? Unfortunately, as women, we have a tendency to put ourselves in the back burner, to tend to everyone else's dream, purpose, wants, needs. And before you know it, when you open your eyes, you have lost who you are. You forgot your dreams. You don't even know your purpose, passion, and desires. You've even erased who you were completely from the picture or story. It's funny because in my personal experience, my own children don't know much about my past, what I've done or been involved with, but it's no fault of theirs because I've never spoke about it since I erased and lived through them. What then happens is we start to second guess ourselves and underestimate our capabilities, competence, and even potentials. This is more real for us as women. As for me personally, I'm taking this new journey in learning to look closer at myself and turning it to what I say and do, but also taking the time and learning to hear what others are saying and doing. I'm learning that we need to surround ourselves with those who will encourage and edify. But again, it first starts with ourselves. Love those around you, seek the best in people, respect and continue to encourage them. We can even agree to disagree in love and respect. Let's be the catalyst of change for the better. Turmoil, chaos, we got this. Let's turn them into exciting beginnings. That's how I've decided to take this new journey, not letting health, pandemic, or losses paralyze me, but turning them into life lessons and finding the good of it all. My life lessons are the importance of family, setting aside differences, and how precious life is, the importance of creating memories, the love of family and friends, and the power of forgiveness. Use it to look at all the options life has to offer and do it, no matter what your age is. I'm 61 and I'm starting to learn to do something else. You, my beauties, have the ability to overcome and soar over boundaries. We can do this together, not allowing the chaos, the useless chatter, and the negativity confuse or distract who you really are and the greatness in you. Remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and never alone. Let's always remember to breathe and believe.
That was a pretty deep ripple. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Thank you.
What do you take away as your biggest lesson during this pandemic? What's your biggest lesson?
My biggest lesson is to know that life is short. It's precious. And take the moment, and do what you want to do. Don't second guess yourself and soar over any boundaries. Create memories.
Yeah. So important.
Definitely. I feel like I really have gotten to know you in this interview. And your resilience, your strength, and your messages are incredibly inspirational. And I thank you. We all thank you. We're so grateful that you were our first guest, because I feel like somebody like you has really set the tone for, even in the face of the greatest challenges and more challenges, and yet even more challenges, there's always time to smile, like you said, because you're going to smile at that person and be the reason why they're smiling.
Amen.
So I love that message. I love that message. I think as I think about that, I think about all of the times that I'm not feeling well and I'm walking down the street before masks, and the importance of a smile. It really does elevate your energy. It really does make you feel like some hope.
Yes.
And that is exactly what you have done for me. And I'm sure my colleagues agree that for all of us today, and hopefully our viewers as well.
Well, I hope I have. And that's, I think, our purpose. I think we all have that purpose, is to be a catalyst, to be positive, to change somebody in a positive way. I think that we all have a purpose, and we need to be better together. We got this. We got this.
Indeed.
And you've been such a wonderful guest. We imagine that you know a lot of cool people as well, and amazing and inspiring people. Would you like to nominate somebody for us to bring on to Ripple Moments in the future?
Yes, I would love to. Well, I would love to nominate Mary Santana and Myrna Torres. And can I do a bunch of them?
Sure, why not?
Mary Santana. She's an amazing woman, and she does have a story and very positive, and she's made a difference in our community and the lives of many people.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm humbled, and you guys encourage me to continue. You know, when you hear this has ignited me to do more. I don't know. Oh my God. I've always thought about writing a book, a compilation of, and calling it Her Story, of other women's story, you know.
Do it.
Please. Yeah. We would love that.
I think it's so needed because some of us just feel I'm the only one going through this.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the point of Ripple Moments, just to encourage everyone and to inspire.
I love this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's. I can't wait to continue seeing all these segments. Hey,
Great. Thank you.
Be our number one fan.
We have one fan.
This way.
Oh,
My
yeah.
beauty
Mentor.
right there. This was done for me right before my mastectomy. Very well-known artist, Janice Aponte, good friend, and she stayed up all night and she gifted me. This was placed in her heart to do this for me. And I love my girl. That's
Can
my
you
girl.
tell us about it?
Yes, this represents me. The big heart is my heart. And there's 2 flowers on each side of the heart. Those represent my boys lifting me up. And on the top is my daughter, represents my daughter, because as a woman, she's, you know, the queen on the throne, and she's helped, you know, kind of like watching over my heart and watching over the boys. And then on the bottom is my sister, represents my sister. That girl has left her husband to come and stay with me and sleep with me and cry with me. And she told her husband, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. But she kept checking up on him and he kept coming over. But she was right there with me, you know. And I can't say enough about her. I mean, it's my little sister, but she just... And then all the other flowers represent all my friends and family all around supporting. Yeah. So yeah, that's my girl. And then when I leave, then it's gonna be Vanessa's, my daughter's, and I made her swear up and down that she will never sell it.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful, and I love the symbolism behind all of that. I think it's incredible, and I love that are those roses then on?
Yeah,
on
they're roses.
Yeah. I mean,
She
definitely.
actually has a series now of the women with flower, and now each of them have their own message. It's unbelievable. Janice Aponte, you can look her up. It's amazing.
I definitely will. Yeah, I just I love especially the way that she conveyed it to you, and because it makes it even more powerful, and it also makes it a symbol of, look at all of this outpouring of love.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're not alone.
No, never alone.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. I really appreciate you being with us tonight and helping us to launch Ripple Moments. This is really beautiful, and it's exactly what we needed during this time. So thank you from all of our hearts.
Oh, thank you,
Appreciate
Anita.
Yeah. Well, it's not over. Before we leave, We want to thank Beck Entertainment, a media and entertainment company started by Tanner Beck, who is working to create space and opportunity within Chicago's media and entertainment industry with a focus on Black and Brown people. They've worked with us to highlight the music of local artists, and today that first artist is violinist Caitlin Edwards. Caitlin has recorded the movie's score for Disney movie The Lion King. She's performed and recorded behind artists such as Miss Lauryn Hill, John Legend, Common, Yolanda Adams, India Ari, Tori Kelly, and more. Caitlin's website is CaitlinEdwards.com, and she currently has a single out titled Exhale. And isn't there ever a time that we needed to breathe in and exhale? Her music, Exhale, is available for streaming on all platforms. But Caitlin's music speaks for itself. So with no further ado, let's give it up for Caitlin Edwards. Caitlin Edwards.
My God.
Amazing.
Glorious.
God.
Really good.
Amazing.
That was
Very, very
incredibly glorious. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. Thank you, Caitlin, for gracing us with your beautiful music.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. No, this is amazing.
It's been incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. Brenda, thank you so much for being with us tonight and or today, and for just taking the time to just share with us from your heart. And we're just so grateful to be able to launch this with you today. This is a glorious day for us. Thank you.
Amen. Yes. And
Yes.
I can't wait till we can physically be together.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Indeed.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks again, Brenda, for joining us. My co-hosts, Muriel and Sterling. For our viewers, please be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn using the handle Utopia Connect, or simply go to ripplemoments.org. We also invite you to join us again on Sunday, March 28th at 3 p.m. when we host another Ripple Moment. Thanks again for joining us and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.